For Barbados, they're starting Mark Bridgman, Keith Burkett, David Gill, Akeem Marsh, and John Jones. First time I've seen the Barbados men, at least as far as calling one of their games this tournament. Our officials for this game: Angel Martinez of Puerto Rico, LaFred Gator from the Bahamas, and Sherwin Henry of Guyana. Barbados, though they come into this one 0-1, they're a dangerous team. Should be a good test for BVI.
I've got to say the BVI power rankings has probably gone down since the big fella in the middle, as I was told, has gone back to Puerto Rico to join his team over there. Kind of surprising, because most countries, the national team usually have precedence and priority over the regular league teams.
Well, he helped him win two. Maybe that's enough to get him through to the medal round, if they can pull one more out on their own. And now a turnover by Barbados as they tried to zip the pass into the block. Carey hands it to Bass. Now a beautiful move by George. That looked like a goaltend. Now Bridgman, as Keith Malone pleads his case. Keith Malone getting confirmation from people in the stands, everybody. Yeah, that hit the glass first. Now Samuel gets the shot to go. Tough shot by Samuel. Now Burkett, step back. Drains the 19-footer. We're tied at 2. Samuel to his right. To Bass, back to Samuel. Hitting Chiverton on the right wing, driving on Burkett. Now the kick out, and nobody's there. So that'll be a turnover. And it'll be Barbados ball. If you're just joining us, you can follow us on Facebook. We're Caribbean Basketball Confederation. Join the conversation there. Comment on one of the many photos that we've put up. You can also follow us on Twitter. We are at Carib Basket, CARIBE-BASKET. If we say something you disagree with, go ahead and tweet at us. Get a discussion started. Not saying our opinions are the end-all, be-all. Just keep it respectful. I'm Craig Fada. He's Cal White. Fourth and final game of the night. Had a bunch of tweets and shout-outs so far. Like to keep it going. Finally got over 1,000 likes on Facebook. Now the pretty double clutch move, but it won't fall. Still tied at 2, and now at the other end, Samuel in traffic lays it in, and he gives BVI the lead with a chance for the three-point play. Foul on Akeem Marsh. Samuel in the tournament, a 50% free throw shooter so far. BVI fighting and just about getting it back. Barbados into the front court. Jones to Gill. Hakeem Marsh with a turnaround from 16. That's no good. Rebound Randy, or rather, yeah, that's Randy George. Now Carey. And now, for the second time tonight, we see the ball get stuck between the backboard and the cylinder.
And I have to check the air pressure in these balls. I don't see any New England fans in there. So
Ooh.
handprint of the ball.
Ooh. Goes all deflate gate. For 2, British Virgin Islands. Now into the corner, Bridgman for 3. Yes! Now George bulls his way into the lane. Can't get the shot to go. Marsh the rebound. Then throws an elbow and knocks Chiverton to the floor. He's slow to get up. Burkett attacks. And Bass hits the rim. Bass went for the block, hit the rim before the ball touched it, and no basket interference on Bass. Chiverton, meanwhile, makes his way down the court. Maybe you could explain that one to me, partner. How's that not basket interference?
I thought it was also.
Now the jump hook from Jones, airballed. Still kind of scratching my head. Was talking with one of the FIBA commissioners, Dion Adams, earlier about that. After the first game, there were a couple of times where defenders went up and hit the backboard, and the way these backboards are situated on poles descending from the ceiling with support braces, they tend to shake a lot as opposed to a floor-based stanchion. And we were talking after the first game that, boy, there seemed to be some basket interference, or one happened right in front of us. And we were kind of looking at each other, and we said, boy, we talked about that in the officials meeting this morning. So I was a little surprised to see that that basket interference wasn't called at the other end.
Chiverton getting the airfall from one of the refs. He's giving in his early warning.
Yeah, Chiverton will do that. And with Angel Martinez as the lead official, he will not put up with a lot from Chiverton. Angel has a very low tolerance for discussion. Chiverton's first name, Halstead. How did he get known by JR?
Helston, he's a character. He's a good guy. Showed a lot of antics on the court.
How did he become known by JR?
I think that's a nickname that everybody knows him as in the British Virgin Islands. I've actually never heard anyone call him by his first name, which is pronounced. It's Halstead Chiverton, but everybody calls him JR.
Now the pretty fadeaway by Leslie Smith gives BVI a 6-5 lead. Over 2 minutes since BVI had scored. Samuel. Tries to accelerate, cut off nicely by Gill. And now Franklin Penn shoots. Can't score from in close. Now Gill. Jump shot by Marsh was no good, but the rebound and now the putback.
And you can
by
hear
Gill.
people talking about how easy they're getting baskets in the lane, and the difference is Cleon Penn is not in there to protect the basket.
Now a long three as the shot clock was winding down by Kennedy Bass, and it's 9-7. Gill trying to shake his defender, Kilvin, and can't. Little up and under move, his shot blocked by Randy George. Ball goes about 20 feet in the air now. BVI running. Samuel for three from the right wing. It was online, but a little short. BVI gets the rebound. Now George from in close. He gets bumped, no call. Marsh the rebound. Now they were trying to hit Charles Vanderpool on the cut, but he got bumped as he went to the basket and could not catch up with it.
A lot of contact being made underneath the basket. These referees look like they're going to let them play. Let these both teams figure it out underneath the basket.
3:05 to play first quarter. Parallon setting the screen. Bass into the corner. Three on the way by Penn. No, that's only a deuce, says Angel Martinez. Gill the crossover. And an offensive foul by Gill. A little bit of theatrics by Parallon as he hits the floor, but there was enough contact there to sell the charge.
I actually thought it was a blocking foul, but like you said, he sold it very, very well. That's what you want to do when you're taking a charge. You want to kind of make a loud noise. Let the ref know that you took it.
No. Now a three missed. BVI running. They've opened up a 6-point lead at 13-7. We're back in a minute from Roadtown as the hosts take the 6-point lead. .213 to play. BVI has taken a 13-7 lead. The bench was asking if that was a three-pointer down there in the corner. We thought it was initially a three, and then we saw Angel Martinez emphatically saying it was only a two. So being that we're the closest to the BVI bench, we relayed that information to them because they were looking at the scoreboard thinking the scoreboard was wrong. Now Marsh with the turnaround. Pretty move by Marsh. And it's 13-9.
Look for teams to try to exploit this BVI inside core, as I said, as they don't have the big 7-footer to block shot.
Hey, you talk about the power rankings that BVI might have dropped. And I think I would have to agree. They're looking pretty good here, but without Cleon Penn, that is an awfully big part of both their offense and their defense. So if we were to kind of seed the field right now,
I would go Antigua 1, Virgin Islands 2, Bahamas 3, British Virgin Islands 4.
That's why you're the best color man in the business, because that's exactly what I was going to say. (13-9) BVI. Now the pass deflected and stolen. And then a block. Oh my! Franklin Penn jumped out of the gym to block the shot by Raheem Gibbons. Blocked it cleanly on the layup, too. He looked like he had springs in his shoes when he took off for that one. And now another steal by Gibbons. Goes up, puts this one up a little higher over Bass. Does not score. Now Penn for three. No. Rebound inside. That's taken by Vanderpool. 35 seconds to play, first quarter. BVI leading by 4, 13-9. Now Williams giving it up underneath. The ball spins off the cylinder. And Leslie Smith comes away with it. Bass into the front court, and they hold for one. Just a couple of tenths difference between shot clock and game clock. Now Bass to Blyden. Now gets it inside to Smith, and he's fouled on the way up. So with 2.0 on the game clock and 2 on the shot clock, Smith will go to the free throw line. The foul on David Gill, his first. Beg your pardon, they just changed it. It's on Junior Moore, his first.
Leslie Smith doing a good job showing in the middle. He was able to get in between the defenders, able to pick up the foul.
Even though they turned the shot clock off now with 2.0 seconds left, it's curious that there were exactly 2.0 on the game clock, but the shot clock was still at 2, although there were clearly a couple of tenths difference, so you never know just how green that shot clock is without the tenths on it. Smith's second free throw won't go. And the first quarter ends with BVI holding a 5-point lead, 14-9 in favor of the hosts. When we come back, it'll be second quarter action from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Welcome back to the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in Roadtown on Tortola of the British Virgin Islands. Host BVI leading Barbados 14-9 after one. Earlier on this evening, it was Virgin Islands defeating St. Vincent and the Grenadines 93-62. Virgin Islands moving to 2-0 in preliminary round play. SVG falling to 1-2. This afternoon, it was the Bahamas over Suriname, 72-57. Bahamas now 3-0, Suriname 0-2. And in the early game today, it was Bermuda defeating Guyana 74-65. Bermuda now 1-1, Guyana 0-3. Full slate of games tomorrow as well. We start off at 2 o'clock as SVG takes on the Caymans. At 4:15, it's Suriname against Bermuda. 6:45, it's Antigua and Bahamas. That'll be a good one. As we're back to the action. Our fourth game tomorrow, Barbados and the Virgin Islands.
And I can tell you, not looking ahead, but Friday, that last game is going to be crazy in here as the Virgin Islands is playing the British Virgin Islands. That's always a good rivalry.
And that one may be for a spot in the medal round. Now a 3 on the way. That's good. Keith Burkett. As Barbados takes a 15-14 lead, opening this second quarter on a 6-0 run. Gill finally controls, tries to pass it underneath. Looked like it was tipped out of bounds by Leslie Smith, and it was. It'll remain Barbados ball with 13 to shoot.
Barbados doing a great job trying to get their team second chance points as they was able to get a couple hands on the ball to get extra possessions.
Chiverton's been quiet for BVI so far, hasn't made a field goal attempt yet. Now the hanging jumper by Keith Burkett draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Dion Blyden. Norval Carey checking in, as is Randy George. Leslie Smith and Steve Paralon sit down for BVI.
Both teams still feeling each other out as neither team seem to find a rhythm yet or get that advantage.
Free throw shaken in by Burkett. 16-14. Gets them both to fall. BVI throws it away, and they want timeout. 8:32 to play, second quarter. Barbados now leading 17-14. An 8-0 run by Barbados to start off the second quarter. We're back in a minute from Road Town. (17-14) in favor of Barbados as we come back at the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Road Town on Tortola of the British Virgin Islands. The host nation led after one, 14-9. They now trail 17-14 as Barbados starts off the second quarter on an 8-0 run. Lower bowl here at the Multipurpose Sports Complex. Not quite as full as it has been. It's been a somewhat late arriving crowd as a three from the corner lands by Burkett. Perhaps the earlier rains keeping people at home tonight. Franklin Penn hits for three.
BVI team have some very good-looking young players. They got a bright future ahead of them.
Now Jones just about has it stripped away by Blyden. Now a long three on the way by Gill, and that's good. Now the alley-oop lob to a soaring Dion Blyden.
It's a perfect way to break a full-court press, get the ball in the middle, turn, and look and hit the sides. BVI doing a great job that possession.
What's the old saying? Pass beats the press. Now another three. That one by Burkett. A three at the other end by Franklin Penn.
Think we got a shootout going.
Five of the last 6 buckets in this game have all been from beyond the arc. Burkett faked the three, now steps back, shoots. He got that one too! Now the ball poked out of bounds. It'll stay with BVI. 6 of the last 7 buckets in this game have been from three-point range. The only one that was not was the alley-oop to Blyden.
Burkett shooting 4 for 4 from the field. As he's found, right now he's in fuego.
Not only that, he's on fire too. And now Penn drives to the basket, lays it in with the left hand and goes down hard. He's gonna go to the line for the and one. Could be another three-point play.
Looked like the referee signal on sportsmanlike foul. I didn't think it was, as the player went for the basketball.
Yeah, Angel Martinez. He is going to signal the unsportsmanlike.
Definitely didn't see that.
No, it really did. It was a hard foul. He went down hard. So it's 29-24 as Penn goes to the free throw line. Can't get the free throw to go, but it will remain a BVI ball on the unsportsmanlike. 6:15 to play, second quarter. Now Franklin Penn from three. That was on line, just a touch short. Now Jones loses the handle, has to kick it out to Gill, and the offense kind of stalls. A long three attempt from Gill just about went in. Now maybe the outside shooters have cooled a little bit, and so they go back inside. Beautiful feed to Kennedy Bass. Bass with the reverse layup with the left hand, and it's 29-26.
It's a great backdoor feed by Chiverton.
And Gill turns it over. The alley-oop lob to Randy George.
This Barbados team did a good job keeping the crowd out of the game for the most part of the second quarter, but right now they've awakened.
After the Burkett three-pointer, Barbados led by 7 at 29-22. Now a 6-0 run by BVI. 2 layups and an alley-oop dunk by Randy George has gotten the hosts back to within 1. After a slew of three-pointers by both sides, all of a sudden, after a 14-9 first quarter, we've got ourselves an offensive explosion. Glad you can be with us wherever you're watching from, across the Caribbean and around the world. This is the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Men's Championship. I'm Craig Fada. He's Calvert White, former national team standout for the Virgin Islands. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a pretty good game.
Barbados doing an excellent job shooting the ball from three-point line as they're 6 for 7 for 85%. Not shooting too good from the two-point stripe as they're shooting 2 for 17, 23%.
Well, you're not gonna maintain 85% from beyond the arc, so they're gonna have to find a way to get better looks inside. At any rate, BVI's cut the lead back to 1 after leading by 5 in the first quarter. Now a 3 on the way. That circles out. George the rebound. Marsh has it. He goes back up in traffic. And he's fouled. I believe Randy George draws the foul. It is on George. So to the free throw line is Marsh. Now Gill sits down for Barbados, and Raheem Gibbons comes back on. Marsh swishes the first. Second free throw up and good. And it's a 3-point Barbados lead. Now Bass attacks, draws the foul. It's going to be on Junior Moore. They're trying to get the net unstuck. One of the officials tried to throw it up through the cylinder, missed. Tried to make a basket, missed twice. Started to hear it from the fans at that end. Finally, Norval Carey says, I'll just jump up and do it myself. Bass hits the free throw, and we're at 29 for BVI and 31 for Barbados. goes out of bounds. It'll be BVI ball. Chance to tie. BVI has not led in this game since 14-12. Chiverton for three. Tried to sell the foul on the three-point shot. Well, I thought Franklin Penn could have gotten called for the reach-in in there. Chiverton gets called. Fourth team foul for BVI. Marsh gets it inbounds. Gets it back and then has the shot blocked, and then it goes in. Kennedy Bass got a whole bunch of ball, got the body underneath on the block, and then somehow Marsh strong enough to get that to go in.
Beautiful.
Bass couldn't believe it.
Beautiful out of bounds play. Marsh was the one who actually inbounded the ball.
Right.
And cut all the way to the basket for the lay.
So back to a 5-point lead now for Barbados. And Bass has to be shaking his head as to how that ball went in. That's just pure brute strength. Now Franklin Penn loses it going around his own man on the screen. And then Marsh at the other end off the feed by Bridgman. Just like that, it's a 7-point Barbados lead. Now the skip pass to Penn, 8 to shoot. He attacks, puts up the floater, no. Rebound taken out of there by Barbados. Here comes Gill. He goes up, has it blocked from behind by Franklin Penn. That's 2 blocks on layups by Penn. And that got the crowd excited.
Gill kind of took his time trying to lay that ball up. I don't think he know the jumping ability of Penn.
It's not that he was trying to be overly casual, I don't think, as Franklin Penn getting a huge hand.
That's his second block shot.
Second electric block shot. And now that's Chiverton scoring. And now Chiverton called for the foul, and he's saying, what about the hook? I don't think there was any question about that, as JR had his leg and hip up and out as the guy tried to go around him.
It's a great call by the officials, as there was a lot of body as he rolled the offender down the sideline.
Now Burkett just shot a free throw. I don't know if that, did you see a technical foul called, or? He just shot a free throw uncontested.
Penalty.
Yeah, but there was nobody in the lane. I don't know if it looked like it was a technical foul, but evidently not. At any rate, 38-33 Barbados, 2:51 to play. Now Gill bumped, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to remain with Barbados, 7 to shoot. Gill looking like he's trying to catch his breath, like he took a blow to the abdomen. Knocked out of bounds again. That went off of Bass. Now Marsh fades away. Shot won't go. Now a pretty move by Bass, and that won't go. BVI gets it back just inside 2.5 minutes to play second quarter. BVI trailing by 5. Now Samuel. And then underneath it's Randy George. And a good no call, I think. Samuel was bumped on his shot, but he was falling and kind of jumped/fell into the defender. That was a good no call.
I haven't saw the referees make that call. I've seen several times when players have tried to pump fake and get the defender to go up. You know, in the NBA, that's an automatic foul.
Yeah.
You can get the player to go up and bump him, but FIBA ref doing a good job not calling that foul.
The foul was on Bridgman. The free throw by George is good. Second free throw up and in. Down to a 3-point lead, 38-35. Now Gill, able to get past two defenders, gives it up underneath. Shot off the side of the backboard by Bridgman, and here comes BVI. Samuel threw the alley-oop a little too high and wide for Carey. The best he could do is maybe try to tip it toward the bucket.
He was up in the air for a while. It seemed like he kind of paused in the air, waiting for the ball.
38-35, we're back in a minute from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Just inside of 2 minutes to play second quarter, Barbados with a 3-point lead, 38-35 over the British Virgin Islands. This one's been back and forth. Both teams have made runs in this one. As you see, Franklin Penn leading BVI with 10 points and a couple of electric blocks of layups. And now Chiverton loses it out of bounds. Gill met by Samuel. Now Vanderpool left wing back to Gill. Over to Marsh. He's trying to get the traffic set. Vanderpool. Now Burkett. Floater finally falls in.
And for those of you who don't think that having a 7-footer is a luxury, look at how easy the Barbados players are getting to the basket without Clean Penn sitting back there.
Now a travel. Keith Malone upset with his offense. Samuel on Gill near midcourt. 1 minute to play in the half. Vanderpool just about lost it. Now Burkett and the floater.
Burkett, what a game he's having as he now has 22 points.
Three no good by Bass.
And I know I've said it before, partner, but that's 2 possessions in a row that Barbados has been able to get straight to the basket.
They'll make it 3. Oh, and then Burkett had a chance. And then lost it out of bounds. 12.2 left on the clock. 1 possession for BVI, trailing by 7. Now inside to George, and an offensive foul called, and Samuel remains down on the court.
The British Virgin Islands have not scored since the clock was on 2 minutes, 19 seconds.
And those were free throws by Randy George. So the second quarter will end with Barbados up 42-35. A 33-point quarter for Barbados after scoring just 9 in the first quarter. Earlier today, our first game of the afternoon, it was Bermuda defeating Guyana 74-65. Bermuda moving to 1-1, Guyana falling to 0-3. Second game, it was the Bahamas over Suriname, 72-57. Bahamas now 3-0, Suriname 0-2. The first game of the evening, it was Virgin Islands big over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 93-62. Virgin Islands 2-0, SVG falling to 1-2. Right here, right now, it's 42-35 in favor of Barbados. 4 big games tomorrow. We invite you to come out to the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown to see all the exciting action, including what's going to be a great game at 6:45, Antigua and Barbuda against the Bahamas, followed by the nightcap, Barbados against the Virgin Islands. Taking a look at the halftime statistics for BVI, Kennedy Bass has 8 points, Franklin Penn has 10. Leading rebounder Randy George with 6. For Barbados, Burkett has 22 points on 7 of 9 shooting, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, 4 of 4 from the line. Marsh has 9. The leading rebounder is Marsh with 5. Halftime at the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Glad you can be with us. We hope to see you for the second half of this one. I have a feeling it's going to get close before it gets any farther apart. For my partner Cal White, I'm Craig Fada saying we will see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Road Town on Tortola of the British Virgin Islands. The host BVI taking on Barbados in preliminary round play, our fourth and final game of the evening. Barbados leading 42-35. Our earlier games today, it was Bermuda defeating Guyana 74-65. Bahamas beating Suriname 72-57. And Virgin Islands downing SVG in 93-62. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from across the Caribbean or around the world. I'm Craig Feta. My partner is Cal White, former men's team standout for the Virgin Islands. And now an unsportsmanlike away from the ball. Chiverton had gotten knocked to the floor and had been kind of carping about it. And as we've seen, Angel Martinez does not tolerate that. And now Chiverton sitting down.
And once again, for the third game in a row, Chiverton has picked up a technical foul. He's racking them up.
Good thing they're not like yellow cards in soccer.
I was talking to one of the officials earlier, and I think we're going to see that in the future. For a tournament play like this, if a player generates a certain amount of technical foul after a certain, let's say 5, he's given a one-game suspension or something like that.
So 13 seconds into the second half, Chiverton picks up the unsportsmanlike technical.
BVI got to be careful. They don't want to come out to a slow start here and have this Barbados team gain some confidence and open up this league.
Yeah, without Cleon Penn to send in and lock down the paint area, they can't afford to get too far behind. And now a steal by Franklin Penn. And Barbados returns the favor. Akeem Marsh goes up and blocks the layup attempt by Franklin Penn after Penn had blocked 2 Barbados layups in the first half. Referee Martinez telling the guys to relax on BVI. The ball went out of bounds. It'll be for Barbados. And now the lob inside to Marsh was a little too far as he got bumped and couldn't get a good jump on the ball. Now that shot blocked. Samuel went up and had it swatted out of there. Now Gill feeds it inside. And a travel called on John Jones. Jones was surrounded by 3 BVI defenders, and he shuffled the feet as he tried to get into position. Now Bass around the carry screen. Little hop and a skip to the bucket. Won't go. Neither will the follow. And Barbados comes away with it. Gill pushing. He feeds it inside. Marsh fouled on the way up. Boy, and without Cleon Penn in there.
And then I had the same thought going through my head, and I'm not so sure right now that they're even one of the top 4 teams without them. I mean, how big of a difference one player can make a team look, as they're clearly missing Cleon Penn inside the lane.
First free throw is good by Marsh. And not that Cleon Penn was a starter and logged heavy minutes, but it changes the whole dynamic of what you're able to do. It changes what you do when he's not in there, knowing you can bring him in. Changes your rotations and everything. And when the other team starts to get a little too frisky inside, you don't have that luxury anymore.
It's just his presence on the floor. He demands a double team, which in turn opens up the perimeter players and gets them better shots.
Now Marsh from inside the left elbow missing. Rebound Jones. Now back out to Burkett. They reset. Gill launches for 3. That's off. Marsh the rebound. Goes back up. Has that blocked. And here comes BVI back the other way. Bass turns it over. He just lost the handle on it. And a double dribble called on Gill. First one of those I've seen called in a long time. I don't think I even saw one called during the women's tournament.
I'm not so quite sure that he did double dribble, as he lost handle of the ball. Not so sure he picked it up with the other hand.
Yeah, I don't know if he trapped it against his body briefly. Carey's jumper won't go. Marsh the rebound.
Right now, everything is outside for the British Virgin Islands, as they're taking a lot of perimeter shots. Don't have a real inside presence going to the basket right now.
It's a 10-point lead for Barbados, 45-35, and Keith Malone wants timeout as Marsh goes up and jams it home with 2 hands to make it a 12-point lead.
And Craig, British Virgin Islands has missed their last 11 shots to start this third quarter.
Well, that's not how they wanted to start off, and you said that immediately. BVI does not want to come out flat, and they've done just that. We're back from Road Town. .13 to play in the third quarter. Barbados with a 47-35 lead, and we did some quick figuring, and BVI's last 11 missed shots go back to the second quarter. Chiverton scored a bucket to make it 36-31 in favor of Barbados. There was a bucket to make it 33, and then that was it. They scored 2 free throws after that, and now they finally score. Did not see who got that bucket. Now BVI with a little pressure. Gill zips it ahead, left side. And it goes out of bounds. They're going to say it went off BVI. Keith Malone up near the half-court line, and he's getting waved back to his coach's box. Now Bridgman for three. That was online, just a touch short. Penn the rebound. Ahead to Parallon. He's got to pull up. Now into the corner for Bass. He drives, hangs, shot rolls off the back iron, and then the tip missed. And Barbados comes away with it. Now another three on the way, no good. Long rebound, Burkett. He pops and hits.
What a game Burkett has happened, as he now have 25 points.
Now a three on the way. That circles out for Parallon. And back to a 12-point lead, biggest of the game for Barbados. Now another three. That's good.
Burkett, a scoring machine. He has now extended his lead.
That gives him 28, I believe. Now George misses from in close. And then it gets tied up. Can't see the possession arrow. But it goes to Barbados. A 15-point lead now. A 10-2 run for Barbados to start off this second half.
And as I stated, this BVI team couldn't afford to come out and have a slow start, as that's exactly what they did and find themselves down 15.
Now BVI with a little pressure but broken easily. Gill splits the defenders, goes coast to coast and bowls over the defender. And an offensive foul on Gill.
Referee Angelo Martinez, he's a little animated when he makes his calls. Seems like he's having a good time out there.
Now George loses it in the lane. Burkett to Moore. He loses the handle. Marsh can't score, and then Gill is there for the putback. Now Kilvin answers. Gill running some clock. And now a whistle away from the ball. A hold called on Steve Parallon. John Jones back on for Barbados. Norval carry on for BVI. Gibbons in for Barbados. Vanderpool catches it, kicks it out to Gibbons. Three on the way, yes sir!
And this makes things interesting, because if BVI loses this game, they still have a strong Virgin Islands team to face. And if they lose that game, they might not make it out of the first round.
Yeah. Now the ball volleyballed around in there as a foul gets called on Charles Vanderpool for Barbados. 4:02 to play, third period. A 15-4 run for Barbados to start off this third. Free throw by George is in. George nets the second, and it's 57-41. Now Bass, off of the steal, couldn't score from in close, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Barbados ball. And Chiverton has been out since he drew that unsportsmanlike foul at the 9:47 mark. How much do they miss him on the floor right now? Burkett driving, cut off, kicks it out to Vanderpool, back to Burkett, 5 to shoot, launches up the shot, it gets blocked, and then tipped out of bounds. It will be BVI ball. Coming up on 3.5 minutes. Now George, the victim of a push. Akeem Marsh drawing the foul. Barbados wanted the travel called, but the travel was a result of the push, I think. Blyden into the game now. And I wonder if Chiverton's sitting, since that unsportsmanlike is kind of a message.
Yeah, he hasn't came in back in the contest since that happened. Not only that, looking at the stat sheet, he hasn't scored for the entire night. That's a big hurt for this BVI team. Chiverton was averaging 18 points this tournament. So that's a big loss.
When you take out Chiverton's 18, Penn's defense now George kicks it out, 3 on the way from Blyden, way too long, and the rebound tied up. I think that'll be BVI ball on the alternating possession. It is. They get a fresh ball in there. Now the lower bowl mostly full, starting to get the upper bowl.
BVI with 2 seconds to shoot.
They get a shot off, no good, and that's a shot clock violation.
I got to tell you, partner, they just look out of sync both on the offensive and the defensive end.
Now a little pressure by BVI, broken easily by Barbados, and I don't think that's quite how Keith Malone wanted the pressure to function. Gill to his left. Now Penn falls down. Vanderpool falls down on top of him, and they're going to get Franklin Penn for the foul.
Both players got tangled up.
Penn just slipped, and then Vanderpool slipped over him on the same spot. And I've seen a couple of calls earlier today where players would slide like that, bump into another player, and there would be no call. Vanderpool banks the free throw in. Three on the way, no good. Rebound taken out of there by Jones.
I've got to tell you, Jones has been a beast on the boards for Barbados, as he's just cleaned up everything that comes off the rim.
Now a pretty move by Jones won't go. The follow won't go. And here comes BVI back the other way. Franklin Penn's got to pull up, though, as Gill cut him off beautifully. Now the lob inside to George. Touch pass out to Penn. Three on the way. George was fouled going up for the rebound by Marsh. .207 to play, third quarter. For Marsh, that is foul number 3. So he will have a seat. And Junior Moore comes on. It'll be BVI ball with a fresh 24. George puts on the brakes twice, gets Gill in the air, and the nice up and under move. Now Moore. Has the shot blocked out of bounds. No call on the contact.
That's the great thing about sports and basketball in general. This BVI team who beat SVG beat Barbados, and now Barbados is comfortable. And if they can hold this up, we'll probably beat the BVI.
Yeah, but this really is a different BVI team right now. Barbados can't buy a bucket there. They get it back somehow. Five to shoot. The shot clock sounded. The ball hit the rim. It was not reset, and Angel Martinez even pushes away his own official. I've got this. Shot clock should have been reset. Now they got it right. It's going to be Barbados ball with 14 to shoot. The shot clock did not reset when the ball hit the rim. And now Bjorn Caleb on for BVI. Boy, I'd say Chiverton's in the doghouse.
Not only that, BVI going real small with this lineup. They have about 4 guards in there right now.
Well, I think they're definitely going to be pressuring as Burkett misses the 3 badly. Now Bass for 3. No. Rebound tracked down in the corner by Carey. Coming up on a minute to play in the third quarter. Inside to Carey. Yeah, he traveled. I thought that's what the call was. I was looking at the wrong official. He was not signaling anything. I was waiting for the call, but Angel Martinez had it. And now a timeout called by Barbados. They lead 59-43. We're back in a minute. 104 to play, third quarter. 59-43 in favor of Barbados. And now Bass with the foul as Gill tried to bring it up court. Seen a lot more contact than that go uncalled.
BVI has jacked up a lot of threes this quarter. Missed their last 10 three-point attempts. Field goal, they've only scored 8 points for this quarter.
Well, you can shoot yourself into a game. You can also shoot yourself way out of it. And more often than not, when you're chucking them like that, you tend to shoot yourself out of it rather than back in it. Gill hits both free throws.
And this Barbados team have done a good job keeping this BVI crowd out of this game all night.
They really haven't been in it since Franklin Penn had those back-to-back locks. Three to shoot. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll remain BVI ball, but with only 2 to shoot.
There goes Angel Martinez again. There's no guessing what he's calling when he makes his call.
No, he's emphatic and theatrical. Now a 35-footer is good. Steve Parallon from the parking lot.
Sometimes it's a play like that that can get your team going. Let's see if that gives this BVI team some energy.
Burkett step back. No, he gives it up to Jones. He drives, 2 to shoot. Has his shot swatted. 7 on the clock. Blyden to Samuel for 3. No, rebound to Bass. He does not get it off. And the third quarter will end with Barbados leading 61-46. We're back with fourth quarter action in 2 minutes. (61-46) heading into the fourth quarter. Earlier on today, it was Bermuda defeating Guyana 74-65. Bahamas over Suriname 72-57. Virgin Islands over St. Vincent and the Grenadines 93-62. And right now it looks as if Barbados may cruise to an easy win here because BVI just all discombobulated. Chiverton's going to be back on the floor for this fourth quarter. Maybe he got the message from the coaching staff that we're a little bit tired of those antics. King of the Court on Twitter at JamesStevens16 says Barbados looking very sharp tonight. Indeed they are. If you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on Twitter at @CaribBasket, CaribBasket. Maybe we'll read your tweet on the air. Now the floater won't go. Tipped around. Thrown off of Burkett's leg. Who wants it? Finally, Chiverton gets it. And BVI resets the offense. They didn't realize there was so little time on the clock. Now finally Barbados comes away with it. Gill tried to throw it ahead to Junior Moore, a little too high, and a turnover for Barbados. Bjorn Caleb thought about shooting that. And a travel by Paralon. Now an offensive foul on Vanderpool as he was locked up with Chiverton. Pass. Bounce pass to Caleb Bjorn. And he scores. Make that Bjorn Caleb. His first basket of the tournament, I believe. Now Burkett. And Caleb scores again. Three on the way, and the answer by Gill.
And that acquired the crowd in a minute.
Yeah, they were just about to start really getting back into this one. They exploded after the back-to-back buckets by Caleb. And then Gill says, all right, guys, not yet. Gill hounded by Bass. To Burkett. Now to Jones. The big man puts it on the floor and gets it knocked out of his hands. Now Gill gets it back. The floater from the right baseline, no. Rebound to Bridgman. Now Gill for three. Bang! David Gill hits another three. On back-to-back possessions. Back to a 17-point lead. It was just 11. Now Caleb misses the jumper. Samuel for three. That's no good. Rebound Caleb. Pass zipped underneath. George misses, but he's fouled by John Jones. You saw the graphic heading into the fourth quarter that BVI shot 4 for 22 from the floor in the third quarter. They only scored 11 points, and that was after Paralon hit a three with 25 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, they don't have no movement in the offense right now. It's a lot of one-on-one dribbling, a lot of one-on-one offense. The ball is not moving, and a lot of their shots are from beyond the arc. If they're going to get back into the game, they're going to have to do what they did a little earlier, which is try to get some stops, try to speed up the pace of this game, and get some turnovers from this Barbados team to get some easy buckets.
George eyeing the second free throw. Gets them both. 67-52. The lead is 15. And pressure in the backcourt by BVI. Chiverton on the floor with some more theatrics. Bass. Also there. I did not see who they gave the foul to. It was on Bass, his fourth. So Barbados with a fresh 24. Now Chiverton hounding Gill. And Bridgman, the recipient of the pass. And now BVI comes away with it. That's Norval Carey. And an intentional. As Mark Bridgman pulls Carey down from behind.
I got to disagree with it, as I thought he made a play on the ball.
He did. I agree that he made a play for the ball, but I think when you take him down to the floor like that from behind, even if you make a play on the ball, I think that's got to get called. Carey misses the first, remains 67-52. Misses both of them. Well, if ball don't lie, you were right.
Famous saying by Rasheed Wallace.
Bass still in there with the 4 fouls for BVI. Gibbons around the screen by Jones. Jones rolls 3 on the way by Gibbons. Misses badly. That was missed by about a foot to the left of the rim. Now Penn attacking. His layup is good. (67-54) following the layup, and now the crowd starts to get into it. Jones, beg your pardon, that's Marsh. He goes up and draws the foul. Crowd didn't like it, but the defender was moving the whole way. That was Carey on the foul. .554 to play. Marsh misses the first free throw. Marsh short on the second. Here comes BVI back the other way. Barbados had 3 men back. They did not want to give up a fast break following the free throw. Now Penn for 3. Yes! Down to a 10-point lead after the 3 by Penn. Now a nice feed inside to John Jones.
And
he goes up and dunks it and gets the foul. The foul is on Randy George. A pretty feed by Gibbons to Jones. Jones finishes off the 3-point play, and it's back to a 13-point lead, 70-57. Chiverton around the screen, misses, rebound skied, and grabbed by Jones. 5 minutes to play. Barbados up 13. Now Marsh loses it. Went off of the chest of a BVI player, then bounced back off of Marsh out of bounds. It'll be BVI ball.
Cheverton just haven't been able to get it going today, as he still has yet scored to this game. They're going to need him to hit some shots if they're going to win this game.
He's only taken 2 shots on the night. Now Penn has it stripped by Bridgman on the way up. Good defense by Bridgman. Now Bridgman attacking. Foul called emphatically by Angel Martinez. Did not get the continuation. Not a shooting foul. 4th team foul for BVI. And now the inbound pass stolen. Penn goes up and misses the dunk, but he gets fouled by Akeem Marsh. Both men tumble to the floor hard. Marsh gets called for the foul. And Penn helped up, holding his right elbow. Penn has a seat on the bench. Trainer looking at his right elbow. He will not be able to shoot the free throws, and so Samuel Kilvin steps in to shoot. Now that was a hard foul. That could have been called an unsportsmanlike. First free throw is good. Nobody was really screaming for it though, so. Both free throws by Kilvin good. Gibbons between the rings, left side. Bridgman. Now back to Gibbons. Now Bridgman, 3 on the way. That circles out. Jones somehow got a finger on the rebound, but BVI comes away with it. Bass for 3. Yes, sir!
This place is ready to explode.
Leads down to 8. Now a 3 from the corner. That's off. Rebound Carey. Samuel. Now a long 3. Back iron, no, but the rebound Carey. He attacks and then he's fouled. And Carey lands on his hand hard. The foul's going to be on John Jones. And Chiverton having words with Jones as he walks away. And now with the official. And the BVI bench hot at the officials saying, you got to clean this up. Carey still down on the floor. Looked like he was initially holding his hand. Now they're looking at his lower body. And now Barbados takes timeout. We'll take timeout as well. Barbados leading 70-61, 3:35 to play. So Carey helped off the court, able to put a little bit of pressure, but not much on that left leg. We presume he's going to be done for the night.
And you hate to see that happen to any basketball player. As I said, Leslie Smith went down in this tournament last year with an ACL. Let's hope that Carey is okay.
So to reset, Barbados up 70-61 with 3:35 to play. Just a few moments ago, Barbados led by 17. An 11-3 run by BVI. Crowd not liking the call by Angel Martinez. Eight points in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, more than enough time for BVI. Now Gill turns it over. And a foul called.
Got to be in a penalty.
Foul on Gill, his third. What does Barbados have to do to resume or reassume control?
Well, right now they got to slow the game down. BVI is trying to speed them up, trying to get turnovers.
See, now I think Barbados slowed the game down, and that's what's causing them problems. I think they were just trying to milk the clock, and sometimes when you get conservative like that, that's when bad things happen. You settle for one shot at the end of the shot clock. Both free throws by Parallon, good. And now Samuel called for the foul with 3:08 to play. That's the second foul on Samuel. Chiverton with more theatrics in the lane as he talks with Angel Martinez. Now the crowd starts to make some noise as Gill goes to the free throw line. Gill misses the second, 71-64, a 7-point lead, 3:05 to play. Now Parallon for three, that's good! Leads down to 4. Now Marsh has it on the block, gets it to Bridgman. Now Burkett faked the three to Jones, hook shot, that's no good. Put back, no, by Bridgman, and BVI comes away with it. Chiverton gets tangled up with Gill, and Gill called for the block. And the BVI players encouraging the fans to make noise as if they needed any more encouragement. A 71-67, Chiverton to the free throw line. Swishes the first.
And that is Chiverton's first point of the game, as he's averaging 18, just haven't been able to get off the line today.
Chiverton hits them both. The lead is down to 2. And a steal. And now a foul called against Barbados. The foul on Burkett. And BVI will go to the line with a chance to tie. A 19-4 run for BVI. Free throw by Samuel is no good. Samuel hits the second. It's a 1-point game. Now Bridgman sits down. Back into Gill. Vanderpool has it, bodied by Samuel, picks up the dribble. Now Burkett, little shimmy move, and he turns it over. He was trying to get it to Jones, and yeah, it was tipped out by BVI. Fans don't like that call, but I think it was right. Barbados to inbound with 12. Vanderpool has it. Now to Gill. 7 to shoot. 3, now 2. Gill pulls up for 3. That's no good. Samuel with the rebound.
They got to get a hand up.
Chiverton to Parallon. Now to Samuel for the lead. Yes! Now Bridgman fouled at the other end as he goes up, but it is a 73-71 lead for BVI. They have come all the way back and taken a lead with 1:43 to play. Timeout on the floor, and we will let you listen to the crowd. British Virgin Islands in the midst of a 23-4 run. Barbados led 67-50 with 7:37 to play after the second consecutive three-pointer by David Gill. Since then, Barbados has only scored 4 points. And it's been the outside shooting of Parolon and Bass and Penn. And now Samuel hits from 3. And I did not quite hear that public address announcement.
I think he's telling them no buzzers allowed.
So they're saying no buzzers allowed.
I think he's talking about the horns.
Oh, he's talking about the horns.
We've heard them all week. This is the first time I've heard them.
Yeah, in a... And now Ian Yearwood, FIBA commissioner, is out on the court talking with the officials. Not quite sure what this is about.
Not quite sure what the issue is.
Now, Ian
It looks like
Yearwood.
he's going to the authorities.
Yeah, he's waving
Probably
security
gonna tell
over.
anyone that he sees buzzing the horns to eject them out of the game.
There's one right down here by the BVI bench, a guy in a red hat. Yeah, we've heard them all week. We heard them in the women's tournament, and now there's
The
a...
issue is down the far end of the court.
And now a couple of folks being ejected. Not quite sure what that's all about at that end. There was some emphatic disagreement with the officials, and the officials have the ability to eject somebody from the premises if they do not drop it. Now Parolon encouraging the crowd to make some noise as Vanderpool goes to the free throw line. Vanderpool's free throw rattles out. There is still one horn being sounded at the far end. Vanderpool gets the second free throw, 73-72. Now a three by Chiverton circles out. Marsh the rebound. Burkett pushed by Chiverton in the back, no call. Now Gill around the screen by Jones. 7 to shoot. Vanderpool, his shot won't go. Jones the rebound, he goes back up. He's fouled. And I think they're gonna get Kennedy Bass, and if they do, that's his 5th.
That's big for this BVI team, as Kennedy is one of their leaders.
Now Franklin Penn coming on in place of Bass. 73-72 BVI with 1:05 to play. Jones to the free throw line as the crowd continues to make noise. Jones ties it. Second free throw is good. And that gives Barbados a 1-point lead. 1 minute to play.
This is a big, big possession.
Samuel on the drive, it won't go. But Randy George there for the putback. It counts and he'll go to the free throw line. The foul is on Akeem Marsh. And George gives BVI a 2-point lead. 45 seconds to play. Burkett into the front court. And the pass just about stolen by George. He couldn't control it and it goes out of bounds. Long three. Bang! Oh my! And now a steal. Ahead to Burkett. 77-76 lead for Barbados. Gill with the ball. He drives. It's taken away. Here comes Samuel. His shot won't go. The putback. That rolls off. Rebound back tapped. And now George. Parallon. That's no good. And the game's over.
What a finish! As BVI had 3 chances to make the layup and wasn't able to make it.
What an unbelievable finish. Shots from in close, an open jumper from the wing, and it's a 77-76 win for Barbados. But not before BVI makes an unbelievable comeback. And Burkett saves the day with a 3-pointer from about 28 feet with about 35 seconds left. And the BVI fans really acknowledging their team. BVI falling to 2-1. Barbados raising its record to 1-1. Wow, what a frenetic final minute of this one.
And that makes this tournament even a little more interesting, as the BVI still have to face the Virgin Islands team, a strong Virgin Islands team. And they risk not making it to the next round.
BVI outscores Barbados 26-10 over the final 7.5 minutes of the game. Took a brief lead on a 3-pointer by Kilvin Sam. And then George with a 3-point play gave them the lead back with 50.2 seconds to play. And then Burkett from way, way, way downtown. I think that one was from Philly and Sims' food stand across the street. Gave Barbados the win. Let's look at the final numbers on this one. For the British Virgin Islands, Randy George, 17 points. Franklin Penn, 15. Kilvin Samuel, 12. Steve Parallon, 11. Kennedy Bass had 10. Leading rebounder, Randy George with 10. Bass had 4 assists for Barbados. Keith Burkett with 31 points, 10 of 15 from the floor. He had 6 rebounds. Gill had 16. Marsh had 13. Jones with 8. Bridgman with 3. Leading rebounder was Marsh with 9. And partner, it does not get any more exciting than that.
Well, more importantly for this BVI team, Leslie Reimer goes down. Looked like he re-injured his left knee. They already lost the services of Cleon Penn. And now Norva Carey looked like he's done for the rest of the tournament. So they're playing short-handed for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, hopefully the injury to Carey isn't too serious. And we will find out more about that tomorrow. Once again, the final score, Barbados 77, British Virgin Islands 76. Our 4th and final game of the night. What a dandy. We invite you to come back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. If you can't make it to Road Town, watch online. Go to Tortola2015.com and click Watch Live. You'll be able to watch St. Vincent and the Grenadines take on the Cayman Islands. Then at 4:15, it's Suriname and Bermuda. Then our feature games of the night, 6:45, Antigua and Barbuda taking on the Bahamas. And then at 9, it's Barbados against the Islands. For my partner, Cal White, I'm Craig Fada saying so long from Road Town, where once again, Barbados holds on to win over BVI in a thrilling comeback that almost was. We'll see you tomorrow from Road Town. Good night, everybody.